allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public Meetings Act statement.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers, posted on the bulletin board and township website on November 3rd, 2022.
Roll call.
Mr. Doyle.
Here.
Mr. Marsh.
Here.
Mayor Bruno.
Here. We're going to open the public hearing on the following. We're going to open the public hearing on all four of these. They're all pretty similar in nature. So the first will be Ordinance 2123, supplementing Chapter 138, entitled Affordable Housing, by adding Section 138-11, entitled Affordable Housing Regulations of the Code of the Township of Franklin to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act, the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls, and the Township's affordable housing obligations. Ordinance 2223, amending Chapter 253, Land Development to establish inclusionary affordable housing overlay zones. Ordinance 2323, replacing Chapter 138, Affordable Housing, Article 1, Development Fees of the Code of the Township of Franklin, and Ordinance 2423, amending the Planning Board and Zoning Board checklist to address the requirements of the settlement agreement and order entitled in the case of IMO Township of Franklin, Gloucester, L90115, addressing the Township's affordable housing obligation.
Motion for 21 through 24.
All those in favor? Aye. Public section is open for those four ordinances.
Dave Marshall, 67 New Road, Malaga. Interesting time choice here to be at 5 o'clock, but as you see, we still got some people out.
It's always 5 o'clock.
Okay, but the calendar doesn't state it, so that's the hard part.
A lot of people on the calendar that they aren't willing.
I know, it's not right and it's not fair to the residents, but unfortunately it doesn't get changed. I brought up before about my concerns with the affordable housing, with the crime situations, the income areas, the real estate values, how they change. I went over that multiple times through the planning board and through here. But I do have a couple questions, especially in light of what's been happening all this month through the state level, and how everything that we have based our overlay zones and our fair share housing on is all completely being dissolved. COA is being completely eliminated, as it should have been long ago, and that's what most of our plan is based upon. It went through on the 20th of December. It's already gone through the first stage. The next stage is going through at this point in time on January 4th, and then the final decision will be on January 20th, which will make everything that's going on completely defunct. So what we're voting on tonight really isn't going to have the protection or the bearing that it should. This is all changed. I see you looking, Mr. Marshall. This is something that should have been brought to your attention long before now. The League of Municipalities has brought this up back in October. I got wind of it and then started reading into it in December and found out a lot of this. And this is all things that have been going on for a while now. So before you guys make that decision to vote tonight, make sure you're aware of what's really going on, that you've read through it, you understand it, and it could all completely change within 2 weeks. So what could be happening may not make any relevance to anything, except getting people upset over things that they didn't have the chance to even hear about because we didn't have that public portion. Bonus credits could change everything. When you start reading through it, it's totally different. We could have a lot more credits for the houses we have in this township. And there's a lot more funding that they're proposing. It has not been decided yet, because again, it's coming up, the official decision on the 20th. That could take a lot of our low-income housing in this township and give them assistance through the state that will give us credits towards this and lower our actual quantity of number of homes that we need. And all this is things that haven't been officially decided yet, but it's all being proposed. Some of it is already passed, some of it is coming up for final decision that will affect this decision tonight. So again, I implore you to hold off on this, because there's more coming, and this is a rush through decision that doesn't need to happen. Thank you.
Chris Sayers, 184 Malaga Lake Boulevard. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, gentlemen. I'm just here to speak about the affordable housing. I want to reiterate what Dave said about the new changes coming up in COA, if you haven't heard about it. And then I just want to speak on a personal level. As a resident of Malaga, where a good majority of these housing units are going to be built. As I've always maintained in the past, like I'm working class. I think most of the houses in Malaga are working class. And it just seems to be a pattern that in my area of town, all the nuisance businesses, nuisance industries are pushed off into that section of town. This is where warehouses are proposed. This is where dollar stores are concentrated. And now this is where affordable housing is going to be placed. When I went to college, I studied a lot about urban history. That was kind of a minor that I studied, and I had a specific focus on the city of Camden. And believe it or not, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, Camden was the economic powerhouse of South Jersey. It was the place where people from Philadelphia would go to Camden's Main Street to go shopping. It was the mall of the area. But unfortunately, because of riots, of racism, of different political decisions, Camden fell through the cracks, and we see the evidence of that today. And it's unfortunate. I don't know if you've heard of the terminology of environmental justice, but basically, to summarize it, it's basically the people who have the political power push off all the nuisance industries, the nuisance businesses onto the sections of towns or the different cities that don't have the political power that they have. And that's where toxic sites go to get dumped. That's where waste junkyards are built. That's where all different nuisance businesses are placed. And it's not even necessarily done because of malice by the people in power. It's just done because they have the ability to do it. And I don't maintain that you guys are pushing all these businesses and all these affordable houses into Malaga because you guys have malice or you have it out for Malaga. I think there are some genuine reasons why Malaga seems to fit that model for affordable homes. But I fear that in doing these things, you're creating two types of Franklin townships. There's a Franklin township that's of the haves and the have-nots. You're creating a fictional train track where the township's going to be divided, and then there's the one side of the train tracks and then the other side of the train tracks. And I'm just concerned that in all these decisions that are being made, and again, I'm not saying it's done with malice, but I'm just concerned from what I'm seeing that a lot of these nuisance businesses, affordable houses, are getting pushed onto Malaga, and it's quickly devolving into a situation that I don't think it's favorable for the people of Malaga or for the township as a whole. Because again, it's not good to have a township divided against itself. So I just thank you for listening to me.
Seeing no one else, can I get a motion to close the public hearing on 021, 22, 23, 24? Motion to close. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt one at a time matter?
Yes, please, Mayor.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2123?
Make a motion, 021 is 23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2223?
Make a motion, 022 23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for ordinance 2323 to adopt?
Motion, 023 23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2423?
Motion, 24 23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2523, authorizing the sale of certain land in the township of Franklin to be sold at a private sale in accordance with NJSA 4812C? No, you got one.
Motion, 25 23.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no one, can I get a motion to close ordinance 2523?
Motion to close.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2523?
Make a motion, 2523.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2623, releasing, extinguishing, and vacating the rights in a portion of the paper streets?
Motion to open public portion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2623?
Motion to close.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2623?
Motion to 2623.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
Motion to open public portion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening, Barbara Halper. I noticed that you're retaining CME for the rest of the Piney Hollow Preservation Grant Project. And I was wondering, this isn't authorization to actually send it out for bid, or is it?
I don't believe it is.
Do we have an ETA on when we'll actually be doing the authorization to go ahead and do the bidding?
Potentially at reorg no later than the meeting after that,
Okay, that's wonderful.
for part of the administration.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm glad to see it moving along. Thank you very much.
About time, right?
Yes, 7 years I think now.
Okay, a motion to close it for first public portion.
Motion to close.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, a motion to approve correspondence and reports.
Motion to approve correspondence report.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from December 12th, 2023?
Motion to approve minutes.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion to approve those.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh? Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the licenses for 2024?
Motion to approve license.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolutions, Resolution 26023, endorsing the Township's third round housing plan element and fair share plan.
Motion to approve 260-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26123, adopting the affirmative marketing plan for the Township of Franklin.
Motion 261-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26223, adopting an affordable housing trust fund spending plan.
Motion 262-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26323, authorizing the refund to Aubrey Construction.
Motion 263-23.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26423, acknowledging and authorizing the administrator to complete a retention of professional service contract with CME Associates for the administration and project management of Piney Hollow Preservation Trail Improvement under Green Acres Development Project number 0805-17-046.
Motion for 264-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26523, authorizing the tax collector and chief financial officer to refund overpayment of taxes.
Motion 265-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26623, authorizing administrator and CFO to enter into an agreement with Office of Compliance Administration to provide an FSA DCA 125 account to interested employees as per several collective bargaining agreements for the Township of Franklin.
Motion 263-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 26723, reappointing Chief Matt DeCesare as the Emergency Management Coordinator for the Township of Franklin and reappointing officers Fregoso and Diener as Deputy Coordinators.
Motion 267-23.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
This is no pay, right?
Not enough.
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the second public portion for any comments?
Motion for second public portion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Dave Marshall, 67 New Road, Malaga. I brought this up a couple times early on in the year about having the agendas posted in a timely manner. And of course, near Christmas, it made it even tougher. But I have a couple questions on when do the board members, planning board, zoning board, yourselves, receive a packet on what's going on?
Well, we can probably answer this, but when do you send that out to us?
It varies from late Friday to late Sunday.
All right, so they don't get it any sooner really than we do. Why?
Sometimes it's not ready, sometimes I'm off.
Mayor, clerk and I have met recently to pull forward the agenda process to the department heads, thereby getting the documents submitted and or created earlier to address that. We as recently as yesterday, spoke on trying to do that so that the clerk's office can only process what they have in hand. The distribution can only occur after other involved parties, sometimes the state, sometimes one of our own department heads does that. And from the clerk's point of view, there's multiple departments, multiple department heads, a lot of requests. From an individual department head, they may only have one thing pending, and that it's an educational process on my part in conjunction with the clerk to say, if everybody were to send it in the last day, we can't put together the packet. So we're addressing that and hope to do it in a more efficient manner going forward.
Okay, yeah, suggesting if you get it on a Saturday, don't put it in that week's meeting. Wait till the next meeting. Unless,
well, that's one of the issues.
Saturday would be kind of.
Yeah, that's one of the issues we're trying to address.
well, I look at the time I have to research it, which is limited. And I'm not the one making the decisions. You guys should have more time to prepare for it.
When we look at it, like, something we don't like in there, we have to kick it back.
Right, I understand that, and I've seen it.
And again, they come from all different areas.
I understand.
Some it's directed by the governing body, some it's pushed down on us, and some of those are, you have to do it by a certain deadline or else. So we're trying to educate everybody, make it a process where there is more lead time. Because again, you can only send out what you have in, and we're working on it as a group to drill it down into at least our department heads. The external stuff that comes out of Trenton, we only have so much control over. But a lot of that, we've been successful as a group getting some of those done.
You do push your heads up on that. I mean,
Yeah.
there is,
Yeah.
people are pretty decent about, you don't have to do this tomorrow, but it's got to be done by whatever.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is, again, some of the things I brought up tonight, that I can see some of those so surprising. That really shocks me you went through and voted regardless. But I've seen it on some of the other boards where they actually on the microphone during the meeting, I have to open this up and get familiar with it before I can even talk to you.
Well,
that's wrong.
That's being addressed too. 'Cause
Right.
We talked about the other night,
Yeah.
actually doing online, scanning everything in, and, zoning used to get them on Fridays or Tuesdays. Some guys will go right in and get them, like as soon as they're available, they'll go in and get them. Other guys wait till the meeting, and that's
Right.
for you saying.
Oh, I know, and they're the ones maybe that shouldn't be reappointed, because there are other people applying for those spots. So it's trying to find the best people for the township, as I said before. That's what I'm here to try to do, is to help the township, not hurt it. And those are decisions you need to make, but you should be able to see the same things I see. I'm not omniscient. These are pretty obvious things go on. And again, we need to get back on track. It's been a year of overall a mess. We've got a year here to start fresh again. Let's start getting ourselves back online and helping the residents the way it's supposed to be. Keeping them informed and keeping them part of that.
I'm going to disagree with you with the mess thing. You might consider it a mess, and that you're absolutely entitled to your opinion, but I disagree with that. I think that we've done a lot of very positive things over the past 4 or 5 years. Cleaned up a lot of messes, and sometimes you clean up the mess doesn't really happen overnight. So I can just say I disagree with that.
Well, because again, everybody's entitled to opinion.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, results are pretty obvious when you open your eyes. Thank you.
You got it, Mike. Yeah.
Nancy Jones, 140 Nicholas Drive in Malaga. I have a question. My property backs onto the farm that DiMatteo's owned. Has that land been acquired by the Franklin Township to build?
No.
So it's still for sale?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what happens if somebody comes along and buys it and they want to build a house and a farm? Then what happens to your project?
They can still do it. What has to happen is, if the Matteo owns the farm, they would have to make a deal with someone. If they make a deal with that individual, then they don't take the land for them to make it.
Okay, so that's like in the middle of what you're going to build, from what I can understand. But they want to build. Yeah.
We don't want to build, we're not builders. I don't know where that came from. I think someone put it out there just to get the people excited.
Well, the other question I had was, has Vinyl ever agreed to hook water and sewer? So it starts at wheat, so I would imagine that it's going to take like several years of engineering planning before.
I would imagine if they did that, that they would require a lot of money and a lot of engineering.
So I can be safe for 10 years without affordable housing up my back?
None of the action taken tonight addresses any of this sewer water availability.
Yeah,
These are all mandates from the state.
because I've been watching how long they've been doing these engineering studies to run the train down the middle of 55. And I'll be dead by the time.
Back in the middle of 55?
Well, they want it, they're not going to do it now?
They're back to the other, the existing railroad.
Yeah, but if it stops, it stops like this.
Okay. I just wanted to find out since, I back right onto there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Barbara Halper. Hi, I was here at the last meeting when John Stipik mentioned about appointments for the Environmental Commission.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I don't want to be on the Environmental Commission, but I'd like to remind you, since you'll be picking people for posts for the next meeting when you're going to decide, to reach out to John, because in the past,
He sent us a letter.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was done in the past. You would talk to the chair and they would make some recommendations. And hopefully, as he mentioned, we can get rid of the no-shows. And, it's hard to do things like Community Day and other things for them without, enthusiastic members that come and help. And, it's been quite a few years since we've had many of those. And the tried and true members, except for John, are getting old. So, thank you.
Can I get a motion to close the second public portion? Motion to close. Second. All in favor? Aye. Committee reports. Marsh.
Amending, where we had a Merry Christmas.
Richard Doyle.
Well, leaves are done, I believe.
These were done before Christmas.
It's not so yet, so that's all I have.
Just to touch on a point Tim made, the leaves are done. People are actually starting to put them out by the road again. I don't want a ton of phone calls to Public Works and everywhere else. We'll be back out, I think it's in April. So if you have them by the curb out in the street, we're asking that you kindly push them back on your yard, because once we get snow, the leaves are going to end up everywhere. So it's not good, especially on narrow streets. The leaves are at the end of the street, and we're going to put out a reminder on Facebook about that, to please keep your leaves off the street until a week before April pickup date. And can actually appreciate that. Like Mike said, I hope everyone had a great holiday. Hopefully everyone has a great new year. Got anything, Chief? So with that being said, make a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Aye. Thanks for coming out.